And we'll go to the phone lines right now and welcome Utica Mayor Rob Palmieri to the show. Mayor, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Congrats on the primary win.
Well, thank you so much.
And best of luck the rest of the way here. We were talking about the article in the newspaper over the weekend. Jay and I were speculating as to how many of these things might come to fruition around Harbor Point. The athletic fields, the possible baseball stadium. What do you think?
You're asking a guy who's very optimistic and very bold on the city of Utica, and I'm telling you at this point, what you read is what you'll see.
Does this go along with our master plan idea?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all part of it, working in collaboration with, the downtown back square, the residents of the city, and the vision of what we feel is not only for the harbor, but for the entire city of Utica, in light of the great things that are happening at Nano Utica, the quality of life. These are all definitely assets that you need to not only attract everyone to stay here, but for the future growth of our young entrepreneurs.
Jay brought up an interesting point with regard to a baseball team and a field perhaps in Harbor Point, or the idea of Murnane Field being uprooted and moved downtown and then maybe making room for a hospital at that location. What are your thoughts on those ideas?
They're all ideas at this point until, again, the hospital itself, that's really incumbent upon the board to find out what their plans are. We all know that the governor put $300 million into the budget, and we're working very closely with all our elected officials, both the Democrats and the Republicans, who we have a great relationship with at this point. I think that's a strong indication to let us know that the city of Utica is far different today than it was just 4 years ago. The fact that the Nano, we're talking about the harbor, we're talking about a potential of a hospital. It's the rebranding of our city. It's a very positive time for the great city of Utica, New York.
Why have baseball teams failed here in the past, and why could it work this time around, Rob?
I guess it's no different than if you look at the Utica Comets or if you look at the Utica Pioneers. Sometimes it's about winning, but if you put out a good product, people are going to be coming. So that's the key. You got to make sure that they're competitive, that it's consistent. You can't have it here for 1 year, then the next year it's a different team and another team. There's got to be some continuity. So I think, the city of Utica has been a very strong sports enthusiastic town, whether it be hockey, baseball, football, boxing, basketball, whatever it may be. But no matter where you go, you have to have a team that really brands itself very similar to the hard work and the warmness of the city.
Utica Mayor Rob Palmieri joining us on the Talk of the Town at 100.7 FM WUTQ.
I think you hit that right on the head, Mayor. It is really key to have that team, stay vital and instrumental and consistent, because I brought this point up to a couple friends, and maybe you can you can confirm nor deny the chatter of possibly bringing back the name of the Blue Sox. And you can comment on that. But with that, I said to my friend, if that happened and we had a stable team here, it'd really be great. I would love to bring my son to those games and really get behind a following. And like you mentioned, the Comets, they've really brought community spirit, I guess, together.
And how did they do that? Same with the Utica Pioneers at Utica College with Gary and Rob, is they really engaged within the community. It's not the fact that they just had games and that's the only time you would see them, is that they're in the community, whether it be doing our sweeps, our quality of life sweeps, that the kids, when they see them out there, are just completely amazed by them, or they're doing things at hospitals, or they're doing charitable work, but they're reaching out, and that's where the connection becomes very, very important. And so I think, to your point, is the continuity of having a team that has been here for a number of years and that they're consistently engaged with the community. That's what makes the mark of a great team.
Mayor, my other question, do you think we'll see Blue Sox jerseys coming back?
If they got a Yankee logo on it.
Have you already identified potential owners for a baseball team?
It's premature at this point. Let me just tell you, behind the scenes, there's a lot of great things that are happening. We're talking to a lot of different people for economic development right down the line. So it's a great time for this great city of Utica, and the fact that there's talk about it, there's obviously the potential of something coming down the road, but it is a little bit premature at this point to really kind of zero in on exactly what site it would be and what team it would be.
All right, how about the downtown hospital? I know later in the week we're going to entertain some detractors who do not believe it's a good thing for the city of Utica to have the hospital come to downtown. What do you say to them?
I say to them, the information is not really out there. So let's not be the typical naysayers of the past, and let's get all the information before we make a decision. The information, it hasn't been out there, and let's be educated to make a decision. And then when you have those people who are against it, let's look at why they're against it, where if it doesn't make sense or it does make sense, before we come up with a campaign to be against something that we don't know an awful lot about at this time.
And Assemblyman Anthony Brindisi earlier last week mentioned that during the Assembly bill for the $300 million coming to the area, that he specifically worded that it would stay within the proper of the of the area and the concentrated area of the county, which his claim would be downtown in the city of Utica.
And the Assemblyman has done an outstanding job lobbying for the city of Utica consistently in his whole district. So if you're asking me where I support it, there's no question it's in the city of Utica.
And will we soon be seeing a Robert Palmieri named Sandwich coming to downtown at 167 Genesee Street? Come on, Mayor.
Since I don't have lunch, I don't know. What the hell are we going to call it, the air sandwich or what?
That would be at the brand new New York-style deli coming to the former Rite Aid. That's great news. Also, you're involved in a big mayoral debate tonight. Is that right?
I don't know how big it's going to be. I thought it was just meet the candidates. But whatever it is, it's going to be. Going back to Tony and Frank Cristiano, I think there says an awful lot about people who have confidence in where the city's moving at this point. You had a developer that infused hundreds of thousands of dollars into a deteriorating building over at the Cosmopolitan Center, made a remarkable change with all delicious. Now he's looking at parlaying that with the excitement of the downtown buying a building that has been dormant for a long period of time, alongside of the Clark building with Tom Clark, infused Utica College coming down there. We could talk about the HSBC building with Mike and Francis Pezzanella, Ocean Blue, what's happening there, M&T Bank, the Annex building, which was dormant for roughly 7 years. And let's look at our good friends at the Bank of Utica, what they're doing. There's cranes in the sky. So there is remarkably a lot of great things happening in this great city. And you know what? For the first time in a long time, people are very optimistic about the future of our great city.
Another building that is great to see back, I believe, well, in use at least, is 310 Broad Street, the former ConMed building. Beautiful building there. What will that be used for, and how soon will we see
again?
Folks
they're working on it, and I could keep on going on and on and on of all the economic development. But I'm glad that you bring up things that maybe I didn't mention, because I don't want to take all the time saying all the great things that are happening in the city. But there you have a developer that came from Syracuse, saw what was happening here. He's going to put lofts. He's going to put. I think there's going to be partnering with Mohawk Valley Community College. Again, infusing millions of dollars into a building to restore a building that was, noted for the ConMed for multiple years, jobs coming into our city. It just, as I say, you look at the little things of like Chris Talgo and the Utica Roast, all these local people sprinkling with regional developers, and then on top of that you have the national developers such as Bass Pro Shop coming in here. At this point, I don't have, not that I don't have to say anything, but when you're having that type of optimism, people are very excited about the future of Utica.
All right, Mayor Palmieri, thanks for taking some time this morning. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime. Have a great day. Enjoy the week.
All right, we'll do. It's the mayor of Utica, Rob Palmieri, and the debate is going on tonight.